सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.
You're listening to Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties on the Bhakti Recovery Podcast with Jiva G, coming at you every Monday with a little spiritual something. Hello, this is my second attempt, you people. Good morning. My second attempt. I had to erase the last one because I don't know how to use my new phone. Please admit I'm powerless and that my technical life is unmanageable. Thank you guys for being so patient and waiting for this next shorty. I've had a lot on my plate and I've had a lot of help. So it works out great. I was, just want to give a shout out. Miss Dominica, my friend and fellow traveler, has really stepped up and given me the help that I don't even know, and that I didn't even know I needed. So this is how it works. Shout out to you, Miss Dominica. I'm really grateful to have you in my life. And let's keep going. And thank you, Erin, and thank you, Dana, and thank you everyone who's supporting the Bhakti Recovery Group and the Jagai Madai Foundation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're continuing. We are drudging the road of happiness and freedom from material sense, enjoyment, and miseries, which are actually one and the same, which actually leads me right now to the talk I had this morning at the tea table with Mr. Lax, my life partner, the monk I live with. He's a monk. He's definitely a monk. So we were speaking about, him and I were speaking really about, excuse me, some verses in the Gita and how it really sort of, for me, it was such an enlightening talk. And especially always that when I speak of the Gita and I speak of the 12 steps, it just like sits with me like I know that I'm exactly where I should be. Especially when I'm situated in that. When I'm situated in 12-step Krishna consciousness. The 12 steps break it down real easy. Krishna consciousness is vast. And the 12 steps help me put all those things into perspective. So we were talking about 336, verse 336 in the Bhagavad Gita. That's actually my book that I like to concentrate on. All the other literatures like the Srimad Bhagavatam and Ishopanishads and everything else that we read. I do from the safety of the blessed knowledge the little teeny blessed knowledge that I have of the Gita and the 12 steps. So I get to explore all that other stuff, situated in the small knowledge that I have. And it's really, really comforting. So 336, I can't quote it verbatim. I'm just not that person. But the essence of that is that, and it's the addict verse. It's the addict verse. Is the person who is absorbed in doing things against their own will. Obsessively. So it says sort of like in the mode of passion, we, as of like by force, we choose tamasic and, well, actually rajasic things, passionate things over our intellect. And And this is something that Krishna consciousness explains. And this is like, what? The Gita's like, what, 5,000 years old? It explains addiction. It explains addiction in a couple of verses. So while we talked about this verse, I also said, well, since it's like that, let's flip to the 18th chapter and go to verses 57 to 66. 18, 57 to 66. And those are the answers. Those are my solutions, along with the 12 steps. Thinking of Krishna. Thinking of me. But Krishna says specifically, I have given you all this knowledge. You will do what you will do. He's talking to Arjuna and tells him this. Having all the knowledge, I've told you everything. You have complete knowledge of me. You've even seen me in my universal form, which is super frightening. Arjuna's talking to, Krishna's talking to Arjuna, telling him, explaining to him, showing him in visual, in hearing, in seeing, in feeling, in experience. And at the end, he says, Arjuna, here's all the knowledge. It's in you. You have this knowledge, but you will decide to do what you will do. And that gives us free will. And we were talking about, Lex actually did not like this analogy, but I loved the analogy. I think it just kind of grossed him out because it was very grotesque. But it's like this, Krishna standing there with the opulences and his knowledge. I'm not talking about Arjuna, I'm just talking about us now. Please don't mistake this. And Krishna's standing there offering gold, heaven, bliss, diamonds, foodstuffs, absolute divinity. And because we are lorded over the material natures, we're like, that's nice, I'll come and see every once in a while, but let me just eat this big bowl of poo-poo. And we're just like eating this bowl of poo-poo. And like, yeah, it's great, And that's how I feel sometimes. There's the most supreme, dear, I don't even have words for what true connection with Krishna feels like. I don't have words for that. I think in 337 or 338, something like that, it says something like Krishna's the milk and we sort of put stuff in it to make it sour. And this sort of tripped me up a little bit because we cannot turn milk. We cannot turn yogurt back into milk. We can turn milk into yogurt, but we can't do it the other way around. It's already done. We can't unpickle a cucumber, I mean. Once the cucumber is pickled, it's pickled. So in a way, once we're here on earth, we're pickled. We are lorded over the material natures, the three modes of nature. We are lorded over our passion, some people over our ignorance, and every once in a while we get one lick of the ice cream cone of complete sattvic activities. And it's so difficult with this knowledge. Why is it that we constantly choose eating the bowl of poo while all of this is offered? And there are so many things that we can do to hold on to that. But its effulgence, its beauty, its bliss is, for me, personally, so much to handle that I have to turn away. It's like the brightest light in the world that I can't see. I can't look at it. It hurts my eyes. what to do. What to do. Well, all the answers are in both the 12 steps. All the answers are in the Gita, both the 12 steps and the Gita. It's all written out, and all I can do is practice certain things. That's all I can do. I can't do anything else. I can practice and hope that Krishna, like in the 6th and 7th step, where it says, we become willing to have God remove these defects of character. We become willing to have God remove. We become willing to have Krishna remove some of this material energy that lorded over us, right? And then we ask Krishna in the 7th step to remove them. But it's like what Krishna says. Here's all the knowledge. Here all it is. You're going to do what you're going to do. That's why we got to pray for Krishna's mercy. We got to pray that Krishna will help us do this, because we cannot do this alone. There is no way we can overcome on our own. And this includes devotee association, 12-step fellowship, hearing, seeing, praying, sometimes for other people. I mean, if you're a traditional Gaudiya Vaishnav, it's all of it. It's the being celibate. It's the puja. It's having a guru. It's all of these things. All of these things are cleansing us. All of these things are trying to wash us away of the material nature that lord over us, that make us decide things that we don't even want to do, as if by force. As if by force. And when we say in the program, today we have a choice, that's a freaking miracle. And I'm going to say this again about my own situation. People are, so many people, hey, I would just say people who aren't Krishna conscious or not truly surrendered to God in one way or another, when they say, you're clean and sober for 28 years, or whoever it is, 20 years, or 30 years, or 2 years. You've done such a good job. You've done so great. Let me be really clear. First of all, nothing happens without Krishna's mercy. This is for sure. This is only me, so I'm not going to talk about anyone else now. This is how I feel. What part of the addiction recovery process did I play? What part do I play? Well, one thing is super clear. I played the hugest part in ruining my life. That was me. That was me. All me. I was the one who got myself in that situation. I was the one making those decisions, even if it felt like I was being lorded over bad tamasic material natures. And look, we're not even going to talk about karma and all that stuff, because that's another issue. But let me just hone in on this now. Making it very clear to myself, I'm not some awakened person. I'm responsible for messing up, and Krishna, through his mercy, was responsible for giving me some sort of knowledge and some sort of relief so that I can make better decisions. And let's be very clear. That's divine intervention. I am responsible. And yes, there are things, I'm not going to say I take no credit. What I am going to say is the credit that I do take is that Krishna gave me some sort of inherent knowledge. Krishna gave me a choice today. And my responsibility is to really handle it with care. And I don't always do that. I don't always handle that decision with care. I don't always appreciate the decision. I don't always feel blessed. I don't always feel like I have mercy. But in actuality, if we really zoom out, I am making decisions on my own without consulting Krishna. And those decisions don't work out very well without Krishna and without the devotees. Krishna and the devotees. Oh, dip, there's like a Doberman pinscher without a leash looking at me. But he's cute. I think he's friendly. Anyway, distraction. So what I need to do on a daily basis is, like it says in the 18th chapter, all of those verses, read them. Know that Krishna is giving me all of this knowledge and it's up to me to absorb it. It's up to me to decide if I'm going to let Krishna in my life, like in the 6th and 7th step. Am I willing? You know, in the 3rd step, it says we give our will. We make a decision. And in the Bhakti Recovery Group, we make a conscious decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of Krishna. If anyone thinks that that is a one and done, like I used to, got another thing coming. And I learned the hard way. I thought, and in a way it was that way. I think Krishna gave me this time after I surrendered, really truly surrendered and wanted to have Krishna help me. It was like, I was like, I look at it this way, like when we endeavor in our making our own decisions and shut Krishna out, it's like we're a little child walking around, getting lost. And then we start crying, I don't know where I am. I don't know. We get hurt and we break our leg, or we get eaten, we get bitten by wild animals or whatever it is. And then we say, no, I want my mommy, my daddy. And then Krishna comes. Krishna is love and understanding. Something that we humans have only maybe just one drop of knowledge of, what that really means. How difficult it is to be truly 100% Krishna conscious. And that's why we have practices to do so. It's been really, this morning has been an eye-opener. I take situations often and I learn from them, just like mundane situations, things that I'm doing, or actually I was actually watching a series the other day because the effulgence of Krishna was too much for me to look at. And it's called Residence. And I freaking loved this. It was like a typical whodunit thing. But what I took from that is, that guy from Breaking Bad, the chicken guy, I forget his name. He's an amazing actor. So he played a role in this series of being a resident of the White House, and he organizes the living situations. And they kept saying, like, throughout the whole series as it unfolded, it was like a whodunit because someone wound up dead. And through the whole series, it kept unfolding that he kept the main thing. The one line that stuck out with me the most was like, it is not my job to XYZ. I don't remember what he said. But in that moment, I realized, like, the only way to keep sane in any situation, life itself, is to keep the main thing, to know what is our job description and how can we follow it. Because once we start asking ourselves what his job description is and what their job is and how dare they and what should they and blah, 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 we start to entangle ourselves in the web of material confusion, misery, happiness, whatever it is. Keeping the main thing in every situation. And that is a practice. That is a discipline, actually. I hate that word. But it really is. So even when I'm doing things, engaging and watching series and stuff like that, it's not that bad these days. But when I go there, I always try to take life lessons with me. Whether it's I choose not to do what's showed me on the screen. And I know that a lot of people say, well, this has subtle influences on your brain. And yes, this might be true. And yes, it probably is true. I still try to take the best out of it. And I'm a work in progress. Of course, I'd love to be the one who only wants the effulgence of Krishna and living in that light. I guess I'm just a little too shadowy, living a little bit in the shadows to be able to do that at this moment in time. Stick close to the Gita, stick close to the programs, stick close to the devotees. This is so huge. This is how we learn, talking, exchanging. Can we be anything like Krishna? I don't know. I just don't know. I know there are some people who can do that way better than I can. That is for sure. But that's also not my job description. There we go. It is not my job description. What is my job description? My job description: clean house, help others, love God, trust God. Trust God, clean house, help others. That's my job description. Anything out of that job description is probably going to cause me a little bit of, not a little bit, either a little or a lot of misery or happiness, which leads to misery anyway. And this is not depressing. This is uplifting, because while I do see the problem, I see the solution so very clearly. Anyway, you guys, I wish you an amazing day. I actually have a meeting with Dominica soon. Dominica, you will be listening to this after we have spoken. And I love you guys. And I'm really hoping to expand this Jagai Madai Foundation. The Jagai Madai Foundation. Soon it will be up on the website. I'm working on that. I keep saying, oh, it's finished. And then I look at it and I'm like, no, it's not good. And then I change it. So, space for you to donate. I hate the word donate. Donate is so lame. Let's say financial contributions. We need your financial contributions. We need it so bad. There's so much work I have to do. Please help me help others. Please help me help others. I really want to help others. I need to help myself too. But I got people helping me now a little bit. So I don't mean a little bit, a lot of it. And help us. Help us. Help us all help others, that we can reach out and give what we were given. So thank you for listening, you guys. And Hari Bol, Hari Krishna, have a great day. I love ya. And in Germany, we say bis dann. Tschüss, ciao, auf Wiedersehen. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked the Monday Shorties. Don't forget to check out our full-length episodes on Thursdays. If you like what you heard, spread the word. Peace out.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.